Yes, you will do it. Yes, this world is a beautiful place if we will just seek in the right way. Seek positive values. Seek positive friends. It's a great mistake to allow negative people into your aura. Look where they're coming from. Don't just hear what they're saying. Look at who they are. Because it's like peeling an onion. As Ramakrishna put it, if you peel an onion, your hands will smell. And so if you're in the presence of people who are negative, if you allow yourself to be in the presence of people who are unspiritual or have a hopeless attitude and so on, you'll find in some subtle way that you'll be affected too. Unless you're very strong. If you can radiate energy outward, then perhaps you'll be able to change them without being affected. But many people think to do it and don't have the strength to do it. Then they say, well, but I should be able to. Well, but you can't. This law of magnetic exchange works both ways. You can attract positive magnetism, but that means you can also be affected by negative magnetism. I know that sometimes I've been in the presence of people who were strongly negative, and I would just feel hopeless by the time I'd been with them for 5 minutes. There's just no way out. And then I'd just throw it out of my mind, and I'd suddenly see, well, of course there's a way out. But you talk to some people, if there's a problem that you're facing, they'll present it to you in such a way that you might as well just throw in the towel. In fact, I remember with our CPU, some of our members started a electronics business, computer business. And they weren't running it very well, and I was always sort of uneasy about it, but they kept saying, oh, it's all bright, and they were trying to do positive thinking, but you've got to have some substance behind your positive thoughts. You can't just say, oh, I know we'll get to the moon, and then wait for a cloud to take you there. You have to put out the energy to do it. And so they weren't really putting out positive energy. They were just talking in sort of cloud-like ways, and I just kept feeling uneasy about it until finally I discovered that, in fact, things weren't going well at all. So I called a meeting of them, just out of goodwill for them, because I wasn't involved in it at all. It wasn't an Ananda business. But I wanted to suggest ways that they could perhaps generate enough positive energy to save the situation. Well, you know, the point of despair and negativity born of that despair had become so strong by that time that they actually resented my making positive suggestions. That's what you'll find also, that people who are in a negative vortex will resent the positive. You therefore can't really change them unless you're very, very strong in your positivity, and the chances are they'll persecute you if you try. The best thing is don't get involved. Be with positive people. Master used to say that environment is stronger than willpower. The company you keep determines what your own quality of spiritual power will be. Mix with spiritual people if you want to be spiritual. Mix with artists if you want to be an artist. It's that magnetic exchange, far more than the information you get, that will determine what you really accomplish. Again, another technique, and I'll finish with this, to protect yourself against negativity when you have to be involved in it, concentrate on the heart chakra behind the physical heart. Harmonize the vibrations there, and then actively, positively send out harmonious vibrations in all directions from the heart chakra. You'll find that if you have to go into negative environments or living in a negative world like this where there's so much cause for despair and just feeling pulled down by it, if you will just constantly radiate outward this light, that nothing will be able to touch you. Another way that Yogananda put it was, if you are in Om, nothing negative will be able to touch you. If you think of Om, concentrating on Om at the point between the eyebrows, for example, better still if you can hear Om or see the light and just live in that thought of light. And that's your answer to the world and its problems too. You can't really solve it by reading the newspaper and knowing all the terrible things that are happening over there in Lebanon or Arabia or wherever else. But live in the light. You don't need to know all about the shadows in order to understand the light. Live in the light. And you will find that whatever good can be accomplished through you will be accomplished in an optimum way through that means. Share that light with others. Live in the thought of Om. Live in the thought of God. And then radiate it actively outward. Just don't keep it all to yourself. Radiate that light outward. Share, be a channel for it, and you will be able to do far more than you even can dream of, because the influence isn't something you can see outward. It's not something you can make a graph of or add up and create statistics about. And yet, it will change. It will change your life, it will change the lives of others, it will have an effect upon many, many more people than you can dream of. Have that faith. It's a truth that I'm talking about. It's a truth not created or discovered by me. It's one of the truths that the masters have handed down through the ages. Live by it and prove it to yourself. You'll know it's so. Okay, thank you all.